No.
It's ratings, not ethics.
Hi, welcome to Life Generally, hosted by me, Jen Lofstrom.
And me, Jen Tran.
We are Jensquared, and this podcast is about life as a Jen.
Yay!
Hi, besties. It's your girl, Jen. Before we start the show, I wanted to give you some context for this week's episode. In this episode, we talk about Netflix's documentary, Reality Checks, Inside America's Next Top Model. For context, Jen and I and our special guest watched the documentary 3 weeks prior to recording. So you could say our memory is a little fuzzy. I wanted to correct the executive producer name in the documentary. For some reason, I kept on calling him Eric Mok. His name is Ken Mok. And secondly, we talk about a tooth gap scene where it was two different models. However, it might seem that we combined it to one model. So to clarify, there are two different models in that scene. And lastly, there is some light cursing. So if you have children around, maybe put your headphones on. Anyways, enjoy the show. Hey, Jen, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about yourself, Jen?
I'm doing pretty good. So, besties, today is a very special episode. I had fed Jen because she's over at my house. This is an in-person session. And also, we have our first guest, Eric Criswell. Yay!
Look, I got many thoughts on America's Next Top Model. There were a lot of problems they addressed, and I think we should dive into it.
Besties, you may have remembered him on our show about reality TV, and we wanted to bring him back because of all the hype of Tyra Banks. Netflix's Reality Checks, Inside America's Next Top Model. Besties, we want to talk about this.
But first, we should do a trigger warning.
Yes. Jen?
There will be topics that could be triggering, including SA and food, eating disorders.
Eating disorders.
Yeah. So if you are seriously concerned with any of those topics, it might not be the best podcast to listen to, but also, we will try to maybe mark those areas when we talk about them. But
I will try my best.
We'll try our best. But yeah, there's topics like SA and racism and food binging. So if those are things that you do not want to listen to, then
maybe you should skip this one.
On the next
yeah.
one.
But for those who want to just talk about the juice about this, please continue on listening to this show while we talk about the problems of America's Top Model.
The problematic reality show that no one realized was problematic until 2020.
Yeah, it was like 10 years later.
Yeah,
from the last.
That's what they talk about in the first episode of it. Is that basically it was a worldwide phenomenon when it came out.
So okay, when was the first? Did you watch the first season back then in the early aughts? Did you guys watch the first season?
I'm far too young to have watched them. No.
Look, honestly, I don't know that I remember the first couple seasons of that. I remember when it first, it was on UPN, and that was competing with the WB at the time. And I think it really was, the buzz started with America's Next Top Model. I mean, that really, put UPN on the map.
It wasn't Moesha? Come on.
I mean, Brandy was pretty good in that show, but the big ratings came from
America's Top Model.
So I think I first heard about it, after it had been on like 2 or 3 cycles.
Okay.
And then I started watching it on and off. I don't think I was a religious watcher, but it was entertaining.
Yeah.
I would watch seasons,
Yeah, I think that I usually was a person who would start watching it when there was some buzz about something happening. And then I would jump in mid-season just to see what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I actually do like fashion kinds of things and that kind of side of things. And I also really had kind of bought into what Tyra was saying, was that it was going to show all bodies and like all different kinds of women and their beauty. So I was like, oh, finally, you know, there's not just going to be skinny white girls, but some of that is still, you know, as we watch the documentary, we see there's still problems with that too.
So I think I was in high school when America's Next Top Model debuted their first season. And I believe I was also taking like night classes in fashion as well. So like, you know, like doing extra credit. I don't know. Because I really wanted to be in the fashion industry when I was a kid.
Wow.
And also, like, I was very fortunate to have a mom to tell me, like, you have a beautiful face. You should use your face.
Oh.
You know, like, you have beautiful skin.
You do, you guys. She has beautiful skin.
Oh, that's very nice. Like, I'm all thinking that only a mother's love would say something like this. But the fashion thing, she definitely kiboshed, but I was trying to pursue it. But when I saw America's Next Top Model first, I knew about Tyra Banks because I think she was on Oprah the first time when I like heard of this lady named Tyra Banks and where she comes from and what she represents, like the Victoria's Secret fashion shows. It's like, yeah, she's like one of the first Black ladies, a full-figured woman, even though she was a very tiny woman back then. And mama, like,
when they say she's full-figured and I look at the footage of her being quote-unquote full-figured, I wish I was that full-figured.
yeah, I'm all like, I'm more
different then.
It was different then.
It was.
yeah,
I mean, with Kate Moss modeling at that point right then,
yeah.
the wafy kind of twiggy, yeah. So I guess if you weren't like stick thin, then you were considered.
And that was before Ozempic.
That was
Yes.
before Ozempic
So
too.
it's like
right?
25 years, 30 years before Ozempic.
I mean, there was other things. Wasn't Fen out at some point?
Cigarettes.
Yeah.
Cigarette.
Cigarettes and coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Starvation, cigarettes, and coffee.
Right.
But you know, that show was very aspirational, to your point, Jen, about fashion. But it was also, look, it was beautiful people competing to be who was the most beautiful. It was definitely the fashion, and it had the creative twist too, like with the photo shoots. I mean, it was great to watch what they would come up with and how they would execute those.
Like behind the scenes, it felt like you were at a magazine shoot.
And I feel like that was the first time that was really, you know, it's on a lot of shows now, but it was groundbreaking in that aspect, I think, at first.
Right.
When it came out.
I liked the cheesy stuff when they would be like, and now, I mean, it just got kind of campy sometimes, and I like campy things. So if they were like, you know, we're good, the first episode of the documentary, they show the meat locker episode where they like take them into the packing district of New York. But then they actually like dress the women in meat.
I wonder if Lady Gaga got that inspiration when
I think so, because the model who was considered the plus size model at the time that was competing
was a vegan.
And they put meat pants on her.
Well, she didn't have to eat it.
No, she had to wear raw meat. No big deal. But I liked that kind. I mean,
wouldn't you want to be in that producer's room, like to come up with these ideas, especially in the beginning? I mean, it was a clean slate.
Yeah,
you could like do anything
for sure.
Yeah,
like that wasn't even as crazy as some of them got. They're like, we're gonna all look like zombies for this shoot, and you know, like I would have loved to pitch those kind of things because
Let's cover them in honey and release the bees, and throw in a bear for good luck.
The crazy thing is just like how much of that, if those were the things that stuck. What were the ideas that didn't stay?
You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
I was like, oh, wow. You know, are they going to be buried alive and coffins? I don't know.
Well, which they did do one, the Seven Deadly Sins shoot. When I'm all like, okay.
Yeah. It was definitely groundbreaking, and it was edgy. It was campy, and it had other characters that were really kind of, I felt groundbreaking to see, like, really out of the closet gay men like
Oh, yeah,
living
yeah.
their lives and being cool.
Miss J.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I remember when Miss J showed up on the scene. I was like, what a interesting person, right? And I didn't know, like, for fashion models, they had runway coaches. And it's like,
I
this,
didn't know either.
this gay man showing women how to walk. In my head, I'm all like, dude, don't women know how to walk?
He was walking better than
Yeah.
any of the models were, and I had no clue I was amazed by his skills at the.
Yeah.
I still am, like, honestly, because I will die over wearing a slight heels, so I'll trip in tennis shoes. But yeah,
It's got to be harder than it looks.
It's
I
gotta
mean,
be.
you see them still to this day. Like, they'll trip on the runway sometimes. Like, just
Yeah.
walking down,
They will
doing the turn.
and fall, and and my ankles are too weak for that. But I really did like Miss J as a character. Also, like, I mean, she was kind of they were kind of the person that was they brought some sass to things.
I love the attitude, the
Yeah.
eyes, how
Oh, what was that? The smolder smile? So it was a
Schmi-
smile. Yes. Yeah, I just thought that was really cool, and I appreciated that. But it was interesting when they talked about how when they brought Nigel in, that they were specifically told that it had to be a straight white male because they had
and hot.
and
He had to be hot.
because it had to be they already had enough diversity. And I'm like, this is also the fashion industry. What are we talking about? Like, it was just, and I don't think Nigel was that hot, but they played it up a lot. Like,
I didn't even know Nigel was a model.
I didn't know that either. They didn't even talk about it in the show.
Yeah, and I was just like, I remember they introduced him second season or something.
They
So
said
like,
he was a photog.
yeah, he was a professional photographer. That I thought his signature brand was high production, right?
Yeah.
And later to find out, like, in the industry, they didn't technically use a lot of like very high, sophisticated production to do their shoots. And I'm all like, are you sure? Like, I remember since the early aughts, I was like collecting Vogue magazines and particularly the fashion shoots or the fashion volumes. It's like, it looks like high production. This is not, me taking photos of these models,
Well, that is part of the, like, the challenge of being a photographer at the time. Like, there wasn't a lot of high production equipment at that time. It wasn't digital.
Right.
I mean, that was the time when the fisheye lens became kind of popular, but that wasn't cutting edge. That was just a view. But yeah,
I think he was there for multiple reasons, really.
Yeah.
I mean, he could make comments coming from a straight man that the other two couldn't.
Really?
As gay men, I think.
you think so?
Plus, they may have been hoping for some built-in drama with him,
Yeah.
being a straight man and surrounded by all these beautiful women. And then also for the audience at home. I mean, if you're a woman watching the show,
We want
you may
eye
love.
candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
No,
may love this gay, but, you want someone.
You can
ogle.
ogle.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the word. So he had multiple purposes, least of which was being a photographer.
Yeah. Because even they had some episodes where he did photography and he would tell them how to pose, and those poses looked real weird. It wasn't always.
Yeah.
Because you were a model in front of the camera doesn't mean you can operate behind the camera.
And he literally says the reason why he did that was because he realized he didn't have a long shelf life as a male model.
Which, it's kind of nice, this come to Jesus for him. He has a shelf life. So I'm all like, yeah, I hope these models at the time were thinking the same thing. Like, I have a good 10, 15 years and I'm going to be on the shelf as well. Like.
But he wasn't even making that much money either, because the male models weren't usually making as much as the super models.
Oh.
Yeah,
But still, you'd still need representation of male, models regardless. Even if they're not getting paid a lot, but
wasn't Janice Dickinson the first real supermodel?
oh my gosh, like the first bitch
That's what
too.
she said. She said she calls herself the first supermodel, and then she was one of the judges for a while on the show.
I kind of have a love-hate relationship with her. I don't even know this lady, but definitely she portrayed herself as the first bitch, of the show. Like,
She's very problematic.
She's definitely problematic.
Always, she's been.
I think she was the first like real housewife.
Yeah, she may be the realistically
Well, did you
yeah.
ever watch her show? Not
her own show after the
Yeah.
life. Yeah, I
That
watched
was
like
problematic.
That was problematic too.
Sh-
Yeah.
But it was kind of the same. You know, she was mentoring like up and coming models.
yeah.
Right.
It was brutal
Yeah.
And-
She's nasty.
and abusive.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Yeah, I
And America's Next Top Model had some times where it was pretty abusive with things. Like
yeah.
the one model, I can't think of her name right now, but she had the gap between her teeth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like basically it was made known that if she didn't get that fixed, even though that was her
Signature.
thing, that she wouldn't be on the show anymore.
Like the pressure to get cosmetic surgery on that show.
That was normal for that time, though. It really.
I don't know.
I don't
No.
know.
That, honestly, I know there's a lot of horrible stuff to discuss in this show, but for me, the gap stood out the most for me.
Did it?
It did.
Yeah.
Because she was clearly adamant that she didn't want to do it. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was her signature look.
Yeah.
And I feel like she was strong armed, and obviously Tyra was a big part of that.
She was like manipulating her.
Very
Yeah.
much so, and like she.
I
did
even
it so
think Jay
reluctantly.
even manipulated her
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Not Miss Jay, but Jay.
Oh yeah.
Jay did too.
Because it looked like he may have gotten orders from Tyra, and then he just had to like press on to this poor
I
young
think that was
girl.
horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish she would have just turned around and walked out, and she probably does too at this point.
I think
but,
she does. Yeah.
But at the time, I mean, it was just.
Well,
I don't know. It
it's-
was so non-consensual.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, and even Nigel says in the documentary that he says, like, actually, he disagreed with it at the time.
Mhm.
He said that was her signature, and but he said he ultimately was the voice that was featured on the show talking about that. So
So you didn't get an edit.
yeah, which is what happens with the edits and stuff too.
And again, they
sometimes.
may have known up front that it was something she wasn't going to be going for, and that's why they brought it up. I mean,
You
it's
mean
like,
the drama. Like,
yeah, well, they, they
You're
know who these people are before they start shooting.
You're
And,
right.
like, they knew they had that vegan before they tried to throw the beat dress on her. Like, they,
Oh,
They
you're
know.
so right. And
So
yeah, they're trying
they-
to do the shock value and also like trigger them to.
yeah,
To
they
do
find their
drama.
biggest weakness or fear and exploit it.
Yeah, it is very exploitive. Yes.
Very.
Yeah, that's.
But it's good TV.
But it was. But we watched it, right?
We talked about it.
I know. I know. It's a time capsule for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not realize how problematic some of the stuff was until it started. Till the pandemic, and like they were like you could stream the whole thing on Netflix, and so like I didn't watch all the shows. I only watched some of them when my friends talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so then to see these things and be like, what the, like if someone said something to me about my teeth like that, like I don't think I would have been cool with it,
Honest. Okay, I think I would have changed my teeth if someone said it. I don't know. I think.
I think it's such a personal
Is it-
preference.
right,
Like,
yeah.
I think I'd fix it too. Like, I wouldn't want the gap. But she did.
But yeah,
know?
but I think the way how they did it was the actual structure of like the dentist doing it. He's doing it to make sure that she is able to show up the next day, right? So it's a quick fix it versus like this type of surgery, cosmetic surgery. It takes like weeks to do back then. And I'm all like, oh my God, she just,
It was a slap together video.
yeah, it was just like duct tape your teeth.
Yeah. I didn't feel like that dentist was much of a dent. I mean, that scared me.
Yeah,
It felt
that's
like
what I'm-
someone they got like in a back alley off
I
Melbourne
know.
that just, said he has a
I would have rather
dental
them
degree.
even done like, hey, we're going to bring out a special effects makeup artist and we're going to show you what you would look like
That's a great idea.
without the gap.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause
Or
then
even Photoshop. Just Photoshop.
well,
Yeah. And
right?
Photoshop existed back then, so they could
You're right.
they probably did have the money to do that, right?
Yeah, it could
It wasn't about that, though.
No.
It was about she didn't want it, so it was something that they could push and make it.
I don't know, but the dentist, this oral surgeon or whatever is
He was shady.
I wonder if he was how like long he kept his license after that. 'cause
if
that,
he even had a license.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Although, don't
Oh my
sue us.
god.
We don't know, and
Well,
we
yeah,
are
we
not
didn't
gonna be
verify. Yeah, exactly.
responsible for anything we say.
So, dentist man surgeon back then of America's Next Top Model era that worked on that one model's teeth. Please don't sue us if you're still practicing. We're just speculating because we're not sure.
The longest disclaimer and disclaimers.
Good thing you know a lawyer. You can have him draft an official one.
I know. Oh my gosh. Right. Yeah. We're also just presuming from the things we've watched and
Face value.
the documentaries. So again, we are not experts, but we play ones on podcasts.
But it was still creepy,
It was
nonetheless.
creepy.
Yeah.
It was super creepy.
Yeah, that one bothered me the most. I don't know why.
I think it's because it's like,
It just felt so non-consensual. Like she was adamant. She was clear,
yeah.
and clear-headed that she didn't want it.
Yeah. I felt like she was strong-armed into it, and it wasn't like I don't know. It wasn't like she was a person who always felt self-conscious about it. Like maybe if you're someone who had that, and then you'd be like, and you're like, oh man, I've always wanted that. This is amazing. Okay, cool. That's a feel-good kind of thing. But this was not that at all.
The thing that was interesting, okay, if Tyra is such, I want different bodies, different faces type of deal, I don't understand why Tyra put this model in this particular situation to make her change herself cosmetically. Like, that's what I'm all like, Tyra, you get this shit from other people, you're just going to regurgitate it and just do it and put...
And I felt that she knew better.
Yeah.
I mean, even though she says the times were different and she went with what she knew, I think she knew better.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
there were still
Yeah.
models, even supermodels at the time, who had some sort of quirk that wasn't part of beauty that worked for them.
Well,
Yeah.
Cindy Crawford.
Exactly.
With
Her
her
mole.
mole, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. That was
So-
like, she was considered very, almost exotic, but like that was her signature look, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So that wasn't something out there to say like, hey, here's something facially that I am a little different on, and I think that brings something to the table. But I also think like maybe if they did that, and I'm going to pull the race card right now, and if you don't agree, then I think that they did that. Tyra doing that for one of the only black models that was on that season,
Mm-hmm.
it also felt like she was singled out more. I think if it was if it wasn't her, I don't know if I would have been so offended. I don't know, because of the fact that Tyra talks about how hard it was being a black model and being a full-figured person. It seemed like she was doing exactly the hazing that happened to her. And that didn't feel good at all.
No. But since you brought up race, how about the race switching photo shoot?
Oh!
Wasn't that fun?
When they do blackface?
Oh my god.
Literal.
Oh my
Literal.
gosh.
And brown face, and then what were they thinking?
That was so bad. That was so cringy.
And it wasn't the 50s. So you can't say the times were different.
No, because you know what? There's celebrities now who have done similar things in the past, and they have been canceled because of it. And
Bizarre.
it was bizarre and comfortable. I was like, if we're supposed to be showing our best value, why are we putting it on your color of your skin?
Yeah.
Whatever the color is. They're literally saying, like, let's see how you look if you were white. And it's like, gross. That's not what we're here about. Like, obviously, beauty is quote unquote skin deep, but that was so
Bizarre.
Yeah.
questionably
And the fact that they threw
awful.
children into that whole mix, too.
Oh, the children
the
aspect
kids.
of it, like, oh
That
my
made it
god,
so much more cringe.
that made it. Yeah, exactly. Like, I actually don't really have a problem with people doing blackface or Asian face or white face, whatever, right? But when you add in the actual race of children with this fake,
It was too much.
yeah, I'm just kind of like,
It was
oh
too much.
god, why?
I mean, I know that there's people who like cosplayers who struggle with if they are cosplaying a character that's a different race than they are, like if they should do full makeup or not. And that's a personal choice. It's not something I would do, but when you bring kids into it, just makes it so much worse.
And Jen, you know this from working in the industry.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people put eyes on this stuff before anyone sees it in the, before it's broadcast. So you've got, executives from the networks. You got people in legal watching this.
Lawyers, yes.
You've got, sensitivity people. I mean, so many people watch this. It's annoying when you're in production because you get notes from everyone. But the fact that all these people watched this and it still made it on air.
Yeah,
that's the shocking part.
Yeah. I was just like,
and I literally when you bring that up, it is jaw dropping to me because that is so true.
yeah.
And on the production side, you do get it, the notes drive you crazy and it slows everything down and you have to reshoot things. But where were the people with any kind of moral compass?
I find it hard to believe that no one raised a red flag. I bet someone
Maybe they
did.
don't have a department at
I
UPN
bet
back
someone
then.
did, and there's always someone above whoever that can overrule.
Probably the president of UPN who was
or
writing
Tyra.
this. Yeah, that's true.
No, Tyra's gonna do whatever, but
If she says let it run, I mean, if her and the execs say let it run, if someone's, even a lawyer has questions, I mean, there are limits. But I can't imagine no one, absolutely no one raised a red flag.
Wait, was her executive producer or her co-producer named Eric Mok?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked it was an Asian guy that was her other half, because I would think he would have some morals. Or
He's like one of the godfathers, grandfathers of reality
Yeah.
television. So
I wasn't shocked at all.
He was all about ratings. That was all he was known for. He wasn't known for his scruples.
I don't think he would have cared what they did.
yeah,
He just wanted.
he wanted
Television
numbers.
TV.
Yeah, he just wanted numbers.
He knew that if it smells, it sells kind of thing, right? The worse it is, the better ratings they get.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the president of UPN, who was a woman, I think that she was in the same boat because the network was going to go under at that point.
So did they forego legal and all these departments were gone
I don't
because
think I think they overruled them.
Yeah, they said, yeah, sure, we're willing to take the hit.
Yes.
We're willing to take the
because we're going to be
legal-
sold anyways.
And they're like, as long as the ratings come in and the money comes in, we will deal
Right.
with the rest.
And when it's your number one show, I mean, what are you going to do?
And
yeah.
at the time, TV didn't live forever. It was not on. There was no online, and there it was, but not this online content like it is now, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, shows like I Love Lucy were in syndication, right, all the time and replaying, and maybe MASH and different things like that were. No one thought that America's Next Top Model would be in repeat.
Right. Long before streaming.
No,
Yes.
long before streaming. And so I think at the time they were just like, screw it. We're getting money and people are watching this. And if people want to watch it, that's their problem. Because that was also a big thing at that time. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it.
Right.
If you don't like it, don't turn your TV on. And I remember hearing that a lot, especially when I would watch Jerry Springer, because I did watch Jerry Springer. That was just the show, the times.
R.I.P. Jerry Springer.
I know. I did meet him. He was a very nice guy, but I think that was kind of the attitude then. It's it wasn't, hey, we have to at least give a disclaimer in advance, or we need to think about how this is going to affect people in the future. It was just we're going to make money right now.
And it was also UPN. I mean, not saying that in a bad way, but even though it's their number one show on UPN, it's still not the three big networks. Or
It's
four
not
big
ABC,
networks that were still
NBC,
Right.
CBS.
And
Yeah.
they were literally, all of those networks declined America's Next Top Model when they came forward with it. They all said no. UPN was the last stop. And
they said yes. It just
Right.
takes one yes, right?
And I think sometimes, in life, that is the way things go sometimes. You could get a job at a big place and you're like, hey, I got this job at this big place, but I'm I don't have any creative freedom and I don't have any of these things, right? But if you get a job at a smaller place,
Absolutely.
and you're the bigger fish,
Yeah.
then you get to do what you want.
Especially if you start building on success.
Right.
People start whatever you want to do. I'm sure that's what they said to Tyra and Eric.
Right, I'm sure. Like
After the first season,
Yeah.
the sensationalism of it, like whatever you want, Tyra,
I
whatever
mean,
you want,
even-
Eric.
I'm sure.
billboards
Yeah.
Sure.
all over, like they pasted up on buildings in downtown LA,
Yeah.
giant. Like I had never seen installations like that for advertisements of a show before that. You know, they literally they saturated the market with
Yeah.
everything.
I mean, look, they weren't making models. They were making good TV. That's what they were doing.
Literally, because some of the people, I was like, where did they find some of these? And you know what? For those times, it was all submissions, right? It was all submissions. They weren't going out and casting people out for.
Yeah, and they're not going in Instagram trying to find this talent either. Like,
Nor were they upfront with the talent.
No.
I got that gist from it, like from how they sold the show, especially in the first few seasons, to what the show actually was. I think that was a bit of a bait and switch.
As someone who you've done casting before,
Yeah.
you know, and from the production side of things, like you're looking for the people with the things that you can exploit or
Yeah.
you can make a story around, right? But, you know, there's a difference between making a story around and making something interesting and actually like full on exploiting people and not letting them know what they're getting into.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the poor girl who I loved in the beginning, from Walgreens.
oh, the
You
one that
know?
got SA'd.
Yes.
Yeah, Shan.
But, you know, I mean, she was the perfect little small town girl who you could tell her, you know, she was so hopeful in the beginning.
Yeah.
And this could have been the big break, and it could have been.
Well, and that's all she literally said was she didn't want to work at the store anymore. She wanted to have a real job, but then she was taken to Europe. Went to Italy, and you know she's probably not been around all of these things, alcohol and stuff, and that happened a lot with a lot of other shows too, where it was like, well, we'll just let them get drunk and see what happens, and like.
I mean, you know, though, no one's really ready for what your life is like on these shows.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to even explain what it's like living with the cameras and the extra people and what they're
Motives.
pushing you to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stressful.
Yeah.
It's stressful for everyone.
And I think that the producers wouldn't even probably realize it too much, but the way they even monopolized on it even more, where Tyra like comes out and talks about like you don't ever cheat on your man.
That was so low.
So not only did you have footage of this essay happening and no one stopped anything and no one intervened, and they were like, well, she was just drunk. Like, okay, well, you know,
Well, she blacked out.
she blacked out.
I
No.
wonder. I'm not even entirely sure when the phrase "girl code" became popular. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, this is before Me Too and everything else, right? Like,
Yeah, and I'm just like,
I was taught like you look out
After
for other
a
girls.
girl, it's
And
like-
if you go to a club or something and someone looks like they're being taken advantage of, but
that's out the door when you're on TV. Like female producers, that's
I mean, this is another one where they say, you know, the times were different, but the times were never that different.
no, they were not. That
Especially
different.
when the girl is drunk and blacked out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that the cameras were still rolling is just.
The other producer, Eric, says that was actually going to be a worse. They were going to have more footage of that
oh
situation.
yeah.
But because of what happened at the Super Bowl with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake, that the FCC came down on.
And they scaled it down on
They
purpose.
scaled it down.
Yeah.
It was a trimmed down version of it.
Oh, because I'm all like, what would they show? More boobs?
Maybe.
Him actually, you know,
Like
the
what?
actual action?
But I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see that. That's just disgusting and so
And the fact
wrong.
that they painted her as basically the hussy.
Yeah.
They
You know,
did.
that.
And then she's a small town girl, has to go back to that small town after people
With her boyfriend,
who,
too.
who
Oh.
also like totally
The fact that they shot her making that phone call to the boyfriend.
and
Yeah.
his voice on it too.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's one thing to shoot it, okay? It's another to air it. Like, you don't have to show everything that you shoot. And, like, clearly that was devastating and way too personal.
They also showed some of her stuff when she went to the doctor.
Like she got an STD, right?
Yeah, and she was supposed to, and then she had to reach out to the guy and be like, "Hey, did we use protection?"
Yeah.
That's disgusting. To
There's
have.
a piece of me about the STD part.
Yeah.
I think that's if you don't know how to approach people and you're not sure if you have an STD or something, yes, go get yourself checked and tell that partner. They may have.
They weren't partners. This is.
Yeah, I don't know. Just man.
Again, it still feels much like the other situation. I can't believe all these eyes are on it without someone raising a red flag somewhere. That just got ignored. Because no one in their right mind would really let that go
wasn't
through.
even owning it very much in the documentary.
At the end of the day, I'm sure she greenlit it. I mean, she's in the edit bay for all. Nothing's going into these episodes without her.
Right.
When they even like filmed that part of her, you know, like of Tyra, like
the interview.
It's like she comes like, I don't remember, but like, bitch, you know you remember that. How can you not remember that?
Also, if you didn't remember it, here's the dealio. It became like all over TikTok and stuff when everyone was streaming it during the pandemic. So like at this point, you can't.
And didn't she bring it up again like years later at like a reunion show or
Yes.
something?
Oh yes, on her talk show.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
The talk show. Like how like she didn't remember.
Yeah, I'm all like, oh god.
That's convenient amnesia.
That's bullshit.
For sure. Yeah. That I think I really struggled with that.
She knew she was in the wrong. That's why she did. It's, you know, like when these politicians, you know, they say, "Oh, I don't remember," or "I plead the fifth." Like she remembers.
Yeah.
She just doesn't want to talk about it.
And maybe legally she can't talk about it because
Maybe.
of things that have gone down. But it would have been
Then say
better
that.
for her to say that.
That's
Yeah.
it.
It would have been better for her to say, "Look, there's legal conflict and I don't want to dive into this stuff anymore." Okay, cool.
Because no one's buying you don't remember, Tyra.
No.
Yeah.
No one's buying.
No one is.
And then it looks like you're just skirting. Like you don't care.
It looks very blasé.
Because I'm pretty sure she doesn't care.
Which is cold.
Yeah.
This is someone's life that got totally shifted upside down by a horrible event. And I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Like, and then also to be on TV and have everyone see it. Like, what the heck? That's hell on earth. That's not okay.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I feel bad in the outcome of her life. Like, you know, she basically is cursed with this forever.
Well, and she already struggled with the food, with binging and like she's anorexia and stuff. She had said she had weight concerns before, and they talked to her about her weight, even though she was crazy skinny. They had mentioned one time that she was looking a little pudgy.
Oh, right.
Oh, God.
And then she this happens, and they just exploit her more. And I mean, she said that like her eating disorder totally went bananas after this, and like it just ruined her life.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, how are you ever okay again?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Because I mean, even if it happened if it just happened, that's devastating. To
Right.
happen and the whole world watch.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
another level.
that is-
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Another
is so true. It's already hard enough for a victim of sexual abuse to come forward and to work through it and to do all of those things, much less to have everyone in the world know about it.
And comment about it.
And you be painted as the slut.
Right.
You're slut shamed. Like,
Yeah.
victim blaming. I'm like, that's just disgusting. It was that, and that part, I really had struggled watching that part of the documentary. I was like, I just want to fast forward this, but I'm not going to fast forward it.
So research.
I know we're talking about it, so I'll watch this for the podcast. But yeah, I thought that was just not okay at all.
Yeah. And they didn't learn their lesson when there was, I forget her name, the other model, I think Danny.
Yeah, I think that was
The one
when
with the
she was
alopecia?
dancing- No, she was dancing. It was like an Africa set, and the guy was,
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
inappropriately.
and,
Yeah.
and she did the right thing and stopped it, and then,
Yeah.
And
again,
even her mantra, she was also saying, what would Tyra do?
right,
That
Yeah.
was her
Which-
mantra.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah, but clearly not when Tyra got.
No,
Yeah.
they made her like seem like she wasn't willing to do what was necessary.
We're not a team player.
Yeah. What is this? If you don't let a stranger fondle you on camera, you are not a team player.
The problem.
You're the problem.
You're the problem.
You are the problem.
I'm wondering, okay, where the fuck is Nigel? Like, it was his shoot, right? He was the photographer on set.
I don't remember if he was there or not.
I assume sometimes, and this could be my assumption just because of working in that industry, that sometimes people might have been drunk or on something when things were happening. Like, not behind like the hope, like
True.
Like Nigel could have been like not really focused. I don't know.
And also, in their defense, like there's a lot going on, and I'm sure like there are people sitting in Video Village looking at the shots, and you're looking at her.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on that you may. I mean, I've been on stuff where there's stuff happening and you don't even see it because you're focused on whatever.
Right. And that's not where his focus was.
Like I'm sure maybe no one saw it except her. You know, like she was experiencing it.
Yeah.
But once she brought it to the attention, then it's fair game. Like then, everyone knew. It's not like at that point no one can claim ignorance.
Why wouldn't they just bring in another actor and like send that guy off? I don't understand. Like,
Tight on budget.
I know. I'm all like stuff.
Because again, she's uncomfortable. So let
gosh.
it's good TV.
You're
so
right.
like make her, that this is good. Let's see how she handles it.
And it's victim blaming again.
Yeah.
Victim blaming is good for the ratings.
Yeah.
Oh.
Again, your weaknesses and fears, you got to exploit them. So she's uncomfortable. Great. Keep rolling. Keep the cameras rolling. Let's see what we can get.
You're right. It's just.
Because it's a win for them. Because even if she's just said, I can't do this and walked off, the cameras would follow her off.
Right.
And they'd have a talk.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Still great TV.
Yeah.
Every time that happened, like on Maury Povich, if that
Yeah,
happened, like
exactly.
someone would walk off the stage and then Maury.
So it's like a win. Leave
Yeah,
those cameras
you're right.
or she stays on there and like cries or whatever. I mean, great.
But they're not treated as humans at that point. They're just a commodity.
They are a commodity. There's no ethics here.
No.
It's ratings, not ethics.
I like that. I like your quote. It's ratings, it's not ethics. Yeah. I'm going to hashtag that.
That's the name of the episode.
Yes.
It's
Ratings, not ethics.
Yes,
Yes, I love that.
It's true.
Let's make that as a keychain.
Yeah, it's true though.
It is true.
Yeah, it is, and there was a lot of, unfortunately, that was sometimes. It wasn't the only show doing stuff like that.
I've produced shows that have been questionable. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to go into detail, but I mean,
Yeah,
seriously, I mean, when you're in the heat of the moment and your job is to get good footage, I mean, you do what you need to do sometimes.
I also feel like they're on you to tell you to get that footage, and they'll make the choice if it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
So you're hoping that they are actually going to make the right call.
And it's always money, too. Like,
It's always
you know what? We're already at 12 hours today. We got to wrap this up. We don't have time to reshoot. Just keep going.
Right.
You know what?
Well, we can edit around that.
So they never do.
They never do, strangely enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really disturbing in a lot of ways. And I expected more out of Tyra because of the way she talked on Oprah and because of what her platform was and on her talk show too,
Yeah.
right? But it also sounds like she did the other like people that were on the show dirty too. Like Jay says he was very close to her.
I didn't know that they had such a close relationship. I thought it was just work buddies.
Oh, I always thought they were close. I want to know what the fallout was.
They didn't really get into like,
Neither of them wanted to talk about
no, they both were kind of like he said, I thought I could trust her with everything and I thought she had my back, and then one day she didn't. And I was surprised about that. I thought they parted ways amicably because I just wasn't in the
And I don't think it had to do with the firing from the show. I mean, I think
No.
that was a sore spot.
Yeah.
But I do understand Tyra's position that, like, not that it was completely out of her hands, but I'm sure that she was getting pressure, from the top down.
Yeah.
And sometimes those decisions just have to be made.
right.
And you have very little control over those. But I feel like all their problems, and with Miss J,
Yeah.
and the stroke and the
Yeah.
fact that she just never I mean, something is off there. Something's either off with her
Uh-huh.
or just it's way worse than anyone is saying.
Well, that could be true too, right?
Yeah.
That it's like that, as cringy and as sad as these things are, it could be something worse out. It could have been a worse situation than we're even aware of.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess, like, we don't know what we don't know. And also it's like we saw what we saw based on this documentary and just kind of like.
But the worst thing, I think, walking away from the documentary, like when it's over, is still like all these things happen, all these horrible things happen, and you still like no one's taking any responsibility, or there's no accountability.
But
at the end,
Right.
Is Tyra still getting paid for the syndication of Next Top?
sure.
I'm sure, because she's one of the executives too. She wasn't just a host.
Right.
Because I'm all thinking, like, why are these models?
Her and Eric, the other
Yeah.
co-producer,
Oh yeah, they're still making.
And he smiled when they were talking about the craziest crap.
Oh yeah,
And he was like, and I was
it's the
like,
business.
I know, and I just was like, that guy is the devil.
I know. That's all. Like, wow.
Because again, it's a commodity to him. It's just it's a product.
Yeah.
It's a product.
And it's a product to him.
It's
for
not about
sure.
the people. It's about the product.
Yeah, and he's still making money off of it.
Well,
so.
right.
I wonder if he's getting sued, like any of these previous contestants or anything.
I don't know, but they're kind of protected too because they have insurance policies and like it's the studios that would probably bear the brunt of any
And they
lawsuits and
sign
lawyers.
contracts, and it's a lot of the contract stuff makes it clear, you are willing to do whatever.
That's true.
Oh, okay, no, wait. Okay, so I heard that they are trying to unionize reality star people or reality people who are stars or are in reality shows. But
Those reality people.
that because it's hard for me to say the talent. I'm all like, are they talent? But anyways,
Mostly the personalities.
the personalities, these people, like, so I remember because it started because of Love is Blind season whatever. The treatment, like these contestants didn't get fed. Most of the producers try to like make them be drunk most of the time just to create the drama and stuff like that. And like you see a lot of these contestants go through, particularly this one contestant goes through like mental breakdowns, almost like psychosis, right? And obviously you could tell that the producers or the talent agent is not screening people correctly to, see if they can mentally take it. They're just taking any hot body to be on the show.
How can you predict that, though?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You can't.
Unless
no one knows, again,
Yeah.
what that's like unless you're in it.
that pressure is just totally...
You can explain it all day, what that 14-hour days, what that means and what you're going to have to do, and you grin and nod and sure, I can do it. How hard could that be?
Well,
hence
famous,
this is
right?
why this is going on a union. Like I noticed this season of season 10 of Love is Blind, they show more food. They don't show a lot of intoxicated people. Like it's more.
The drinking's a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was again just thinking back to. I mean, we would shoot like a pool scene at like 10 a.m. in the morning and start opening the bottles of champagne. And that was the beginning of the day, and you'd be going till 10 o'clock at night with just, it's crazy.
On the Real World, they did that in Hawaii with Ruthie, who was known to have a drinking problem, and they had booze there all the time. She blacked out and almost drowned in the pool, and then that was the storyline, though, that she was an alcoholic, and
even though she walked into the show as an alcoholic. Regardless,
they saw these alcoholic tendencies, yes, and she left in an ambulance, and she was aggressive, and they still made it seem like she had the problem, and they were like, they didn't try to do this. But if you talk to her or see interviews with her or the cast, they were like totally alcohol was everywhere. They were encouraged to drink alcohol, and if you're doing that with someone who has a known concern like that, addiction,
again, exploit the fear, exploit the weakness,
right? And and how many people won't talk about those things before they go on a show? If they talk to you and you have to go to the doctor and they have you do a checkup and they meet you, they have you with a psychologist or a psychiatrist who is questionable because they are working for this for the network, right? And so then they're all having that, and then they screen okay, so sometimes they're not going to know. Sometimes they will have an inkling of it. but how much someone is going to fall under the pressure and be tempted by things. And like on The Biggest Loser, which they have that documentary too. And they talk about having those times where they like put food out, like just like tons of ice cream and all these things, and you can eat some and you'll like be able to go on to the next level, but it's your choice to decide. If I literally had that, like I have problems with food like that.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying about like the conditions and stuff. Like it's been a long way. It's been what? Reality TV of, you said Road Rules or
Real World started in the 90s.
okay, in the 90s. So now it's been about 30 years.
Early 90s
Or late 80s.
or late 80s.
Okay, about 35 years or so that they're finally unionizing this talent of, you know, better conditions and stuff like that. That's the question that I don't know if these, I'm very sure these past contestants of America's Top Model did sign away whatever.
Yeah.
But they do have a right to sue them. You know, I don't know how ironclad that contract is or anything.
But how much money do they have to sue someone like that? And someone with an unlimited amount of money. You're
Class
suing,
action, man.
Class action. But you're suing Tyra Banks and, you know, and the godfather of reality television. Like, it's just like, I'm sorry.
And Warner Brothers now.
And
Yeah.
They're they became
yes.
part of WB.
They did become part of WB, and that's huge, too. And so, like, it's definitely a David versus Goliath. I mean, I think that there are things in SAG, right, in the Screen Actors Guild that have protections and different things that, you know, breaks and all those kind of things. People still find ways to work around them. But I think, so why wouldn't reality TV have some regulations? I mean, they're not going to want regulations because that's going to take away from everything.
And also,
that costs more money for them. Too.
Just like, yeah, when Eric was also saying reality TV is very cheap to produce, like, yes, if there is a union, that's going to cost more money. But
Absolutely, because now you have to feed these people.
Right. Imagine
feed
that
them
after
properly.
14 hours. You can't just give them crackers and water.
Here's a power bar. Good night.
They'll just hand them over cigarettes and coffee.
If we could only go back to that. The 80s were amazing. Vodka and a Marlboro Light.
Great combination. Keeps the body
Hollywood
trim.
diet.
That was the Hollywood diet. That and maybe some Coke, too. And I'm not talking about the soda. Yeah. I mean,
Those were the days.
I think that there's going to be people who push back on it because literally it's going to cost them money and it's going to cost them time, and that's more money and hassle.
Because if they're a union, there'll be a union rep, and everyone loves the union rep. Because
Yes.
everything's going to be a problem, and we're in the middle of shooting here, and why is the rep coming in and telling us to cut?
Right.
You know?
Not saying it's not. I think these people should be protected in some way. I think that it's not fair for them. I understand. You sign up for a show, and there is somewhat of an understanding that there's going to be things that happen. But safety concerns and food, I mean, those to me seem like basic things that should be provided on.
Even like mental health counseling, media training, you know what? All like certain things that you need to have.
Oh, they only brought in mental health when there was a real big thing in the real world, and then it was a whole storyline. You know, that was like, and that's what laid the groundwork for all of these other shows.
It's going to it's going to be cost prohibitive.
And then they'll just do AI reality shows.
Yeah. Then it won't matter.
Yeah, because then they're
You
not.
can do whatever
people.
you want to them.
They're just
Those
getting-
personalities.
But the strange thing is, I'm sure that the AI created people are going to end up looking like someone. And could you imagine if there's an AI reality star that's like out there crazy and they look like you, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, it's you!" And you're like, "No, I'm not a."
Oh, but you could pay people for your likeness. Like,
Yeah.
you could create
Yes.
someone like you, and
Yeah, well, like going back to the 90s, I think the Friends episode where Joey takes like a picture because he needs money and stuff, and his photo ends. His agent helps him with that photo, and it ends up being used for a STD poster
right.
all over the metros, all over New York, and everybody's like, "It's that guy," and like, you know, so yeah, I mean, you don't know what you're, it's just, anytime they have those stock photos, if they have stock photos of you, they can put your head on anyone else.
They own those.
Yeah, and you can't say anything like that. You have signed that off.
You have signed on to being the STD poster.
And whatever, I think that, I think that the slope is slippery and it's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know why anyone at this point would want to be on a reality show.
That's what I'm thinking too. Okay.
Except Drag Race.
Yeah, Drag Race is great. That's pretty fabulous, for sure.
Okay. Before we get on to that, do you think, was there any positives that you find very touching about the 3-episode documentary?
I liked seeing some of the old cast members, the contestants. I don't know. The only thing I kept thinking was maybe they're appearing on this because they're getting paid, and I hope that they're getting paid well.
Yeah.
But I didn't really see anyone's life that became amazing.
Well, no one became a top model.
Right?
Yeah, which is so sad. That
False
was
advertising.
that was
That's
the
what they
saddest
said in
part.
there, that their career was actually hurt by being on the show, and Tyra knew that.
Yeah.
And probably Janice too. I'm all thinking.
It came about pretty early on.
Yeah.
It wasn't
This wasn't going to help any of their careers.
American Idol had people that came out right away, but it did take them a long time to get momentum to have them actually have, Kelly Clarkson, obviously
First winner,
but I don't remember her taking off right away.
I thought her career took off pretty fast.
I remember Carrie Underwood's taking off like
Yeah.
lightning, and I also there's no guarantee, but the fact that they didn't get one top model out of all the top model
Right.
winners.
Yeah,
Right.
that was really sad on that part. But I think the only positive thing that I thought was very touching was their friendship between Nigel and the Jays. Through the many years and the bullshit of everybody, they were able to maintain this friendship. And it's it did show me the test of time. And also when your coworkers are in the trenches with you and you're trauma bonding and this is for life, I think this is a testament for trauma bonding friendships.
You're right. You're sure. Yeah.
And I'm sure also, they have circuits where you go around to different conferences and stuff like that. So, it does also, it's good for them to be friendly with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it also reinforces Tyra's the problem. Or part
Yeah.
of the problem. Because
Tyra
all
and
three of
Eric.
them not being,
Yeah. Bitter with each other or anything.
Yeah. That they're still close and she's not involved with any of the three.
them.
Yeah.
Is a big sign.
Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned, besties, that I used to adore Tyra. I actually met her in person
Oh, that's cool.
on her talk show, and I was like, wow, this beautiful lady,
Where was her talk show filmed at the time?
LA. When she moved America's Next Top Model from New York to LA,
Okay.
and it's I don't remember the segment. I just remembered she looked like a goddess, this
Like an
beautiful,
angel.
yeah, almost you're just but the makeup, you could see it 12 miles away. I was like, man, do you need that much makeup?
Well, that was before high definition TV too, but yeah, you had to wear a lot more for it to read on TV.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But, so I was maybe 23 at the time or 24. Fast forward to seeing this documentary, I thought it was going to be a good cut on Tyra. But how she just was so, almost such in a delusional state.
She didn't take responsibility for anything.
Yeah.
That was a big turnoff.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason she did it. Because I was trying to figure out why would she even do this.
I thought
Yeah.
the same thing.
But I think it was to exonerate herself. She wanted to put her story up there. It was a different time. My hands are clean. You would do the same thing if it were you back then.
I'm not even entirely sure if that would be a case if
I
it
don't
was
think
someone
that's
else.
True, but
Yeah.
I think that was her point of doing it and saying it.
They did announce that they might be bringing
They
the
did.
show back. Right?
The one thing I thought was interesting is they didn't, because I don't know what cycle they added the guys in, but there was nothing about those seasons with the guys. And
Oh yes, it was later. Yeah.
so, like, again, is that like a sexist double standard? Did things change then? Like, what?
Or was it not as
Because
common?
I started watching, like, I watched those
Of
seasons.
course.
Cool, man.
And
Yeah.
like I was a little like none of that was part of this. So,
Or maybe they'll do another part to it.
or maybe it wasn't problematic for the guys. Again, maybe it was truly, a sexist type bent, or
Yeah.
maybe I can't remember
Did the
if the
men-
Jays were still on there and when they brought on the men, or that
don't
was
think
No,
complete-
they were gone.
And I feel like I don't even feel like the ratings were as high at that point.
I
Yeah.
think that's why they did it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it
they
was
were trying
another
to,
ratings hook.
Yeah.
Bail it out, right? Yeah, for sure. But I don't know.
Maybe they learned their lesson.
Maybe they weren't being as crappy to the dudes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That would say something about, oh, wow, that is so sexist if they're not doing that same type of courtesy of prompting these ladies for the men to act a certain way. That's sexist if you have the same producers,
But how many things are that way? And like, women aren't.
Everything.
Yes.
The whole world is
Yes.
So it wouldn't be shocking. But
It's not really that shocking because it still happens now. As far as like
Yeah.
the difference between genders and how they're treated and equality, like it's unfortunately like, we're all, at least people who are, I feel like, kind people are hoping that everyone gets to be equal in some way or another, but like, it's not the world we're living in.
Well, Jen, to the point you were just making, though, they're talking about Cycle 25, so I guess we'll see if...
Will you be watching Cycle 25?
Probably now, since after...
Well, to me, it felt like if she didn't come on, they couldn't do a Cycle 25 if Tyra wasn't on it.
They also got a new host. They're like, when... in the documentary, they did mention... They replaced Tyra. They got a new host, new everything. That's because the ratings dropped.
Oh,
And they were trying to just
at
like...
a certain point?
Yeah.
You mean for the last seasons or for the one coming up?
No, the last couple of seasons. So like 10 years ago.
Because it sounds like she's going to be on the 20,
Yeah, I think she's trying to promote 25.
which is probably another reason she did
That's
this.
why I think she did this, is because her and Eric, not you, Eric, but Eric Ma, I think that they are using this to, because any kind of news is good news in reality television, right?
Yeah.
So even if they get pushback, people are going to be like me, who didn't really watch much of the original show, are going to be like, well, I got to watch this now.
Yeah.
Because what's Tyra going to say now? What's going to be cringy now? Are they going to actually change? Are things going to be better?
So I take it you're going to watch it?
I think I have to. Now, like, that documentary hooked me in more than I ever was connected to that show.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to pass on this one.
Oh, see, the documentary made her like actually not like the show anymore.
It just made this is okay. I'm really glad I didn't become a model or anything, and it does, like, seeing this documentary changes the whole perspective of who this little Jen thought who Tyra Banks is. It's like, it's just so scarring. It's like, why am I gonna watch this bullshit? Like, I'm not gonna do this. Like, it's heartbreaking when you meet your hero.
Disillusionment,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna pass. But besties, if you want to watch it, all the more power to you. You have Jen and Eric to watch
We
it.
can be the correspondence on the
Yeah.
We'll be back for our follow-up.
But we would like to know what you besties think about it. If you've seen this documentary, what you think about the show, were you a fan of it? We'd really like to hear your feedback. And you can email us at lifejenerally with a J at gmail.com. I was going to say Gmail first. But hey guys, listen, email us at Gmail. You know how to get it. At this point, I hope so. And then, or you can message us on Instagram at life.generally with a J.
Listeners, just to let you know that if you haven't noticed, that we have been dropping new episodes on Thursday night. and that can be between 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. However, you would definitely have a new episode on Friday. Friday mornings to best start your Fridays. So, okay, I have to ask Eric and Jen, last question.
Yep.
What reality show are you guys watching right now?
I did just finish up Singles Inferno.
Oh my God.
And I am watching Drag Race.
Okay, Jen.
I'm dabbling in some Real Housewives sometimes.
Oh God.
I watched a whole thing about one of the housewives who ended, I think it was in Utah, who had a cult.
Oh my gosh, I heard about that, an HBO show.
It's so good, girl. I like crime shows. I listen to crime podcasts. I watch Dateline. I like all of that kind of stuff. And I like cults. Not that I want to be a part of a cult, but it's just fascinating to me. So that one, that's the one I've been I've been learning about and keeping in tune with.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
So I just finished up Love is Blind season 10 in Ohio, and what a train wreck that season was. But I found another Korean competition show called Battle of the Fate. It is on Hulu. Oh my gosh, this show is genius.
Jen just like split up like firecrackers right now.
So basically, they're using psychic shamans, tarot readers, and competing who's the best.
What's it called? Battle of the Fate.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so it's all of the like woo-woo people?
Yes, all the woo-woo people, the top of whatever's in Korea. And it's not dubbed, it's all subtitles. So it's still producing out. I saw on my Hulu feed 3 new episodes, so it's on 10 episodes. I don't know if that's the season, but oh my, I have to say Korean competition shows, chef's kiss.
Sounds like my jam, because my other reality TV is that I watch ghost shows. So
this is beyond some people are making
how
into
are they
science.
Competing?
How
they're fortune reading and whoever
They're
gets it
predicting.
accurate.
Yeah, basically the predictions, they bring out the person out or this.
And then they follow them to see if the prediction comes true.
Yes, they have the judges.
Can you think about the production on that?
Oh, the production, girls, besties. The production on this show. Oh my gosh, is it amazing? I want to just be an audience member just watching it because they're so techno pirate.
Yeah, I gotta see it.
It is. We can watch it after we close out.
Convinced me to watch
We
it.
can watch an episode right now.
Here's the dealio. I know when I watch those ghost reality shows that some of it is skewed.
You think?
I think.
You think?
I wonder if the same kind of smoke and mirrors is happening on this show. No? It's all real?
It's on allegedly real time. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna watch this show after Besties when we send you off for your day or your weekend, but we're gonna watch a show right after this.
Yeah, we gotta check it out.
So thank you for listening, Besties, and we will see you next time. And thank you again, Eric, for being our guest.
Our first
returning guest.
Many first.
Of many firsts.
I'm coming back anytime.
Awesome.
Jen, do you have any last words?
My last words would be, if something seems too good to be true, it is.
That's good.
What about you?
So my last words would be, try not to get drunk on reality TV. If you're a contestant, please try to not get drunk just to protect yourselves, because those producers are not out there for your best interest.
My last words are just, don't go on a reality show. And we're out.
Awesome. Jensquared out.